following program is rated R18+. May contain coarse language, sexual references, drug references, and a bunch of other shit. So if you're under the age of 18, get the fuck out.
Can you read, my son?
Well, that depends. Can you go fuck yourself?
The awkward moments in between whether or not I am actually recording. I can't. Okay, I'm there. Okay, we got some new shit going down. I'm not using my phone to record anymore, which is a positive. Huh? Welcome on back. Jeez, what a good time, huh? You know, we're making improvements. We're getting somewhere with this shit. And I've got an aquarium behind me now, which is a massive, massive upgrade, I guess. But it is kind of warm tonight. That's why we don't need the fire on there. Everyone knows. Sick. So, what a start. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Wow. Let me get started straight away. Something I want to talk about is the fact that my dogs are barking and I'm nervous suddenly. That reminds me. Last night my housemate pranked the shit out of me. He finished work real early. He starts at 4 and usually goes 4 till 4, around about 4 till 4. Starts at 4 p.m, finishes at 3 or 4 a.m. Long days, long ass days. And he finished early. He was home by 12. Good for me. And so when he came home, I didn't know. And the thing that fucked me up was that I was on my Xbox with these big old fucking headphones on, and I didn't know he was coming back home. And he knocked on my window. And that is one of the biggest fears of my life as a kid growing up, is someone knocking on my window and there being a predator outside my fucking window. And he knocks, he's like, tung, tung, tung. And I'm like, who is it? And I fucking wipe my blinds open real fucking quick, because I'm nervous but also have to see. But he was gone. There was no one there. I didn't see shit. I was like, maybe there was something else. And I was just because I had my Xbox headphones and shit. I was playing Xbox with my buddy Toby, and so I'm like, whew, who the fuck is there? Don't see shit. And I can definitely see out there, when I open my blinds, I wish I could show you, but you're so far away. I open my blinds, it covers the light from my TV, and I can see out there cleanly. So I open the blinds, and there's no one there. To my fucking surprise, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, okay, I think someone just knocked on my window. To my buddy Toby. I think someone just knocked on my window. And then they do it again. I'm like, who is that? And this time I don't open the blinds because I'm scared. I'm like, it's a demon. It's a fucking demon. It's too late for me. Anyway, so I go out to my back door. I just feel like I must have thought that. What I definitely thought was that he or my other housemate had come home and not had the key to the door, so they just knocked on my window to see if I was awake, and then just walked away to go to the door, and just not heard me for whatever reason. So I go out there, I go to my back door, which is open, and I'm just I stick my head out, stick my head out and I go, sorry again. And there's no one there. So I shut that shit and lock it straight away. And I'm just like, fuck this. I go back to my bed. I'm like, it's just Brenton. That's my housemate's name. Probably shouldn't have said that on a podcast. It's just my housemate. And I go, and I'm like, to my guy Toby, I'm like, yo, there's someone at my house for sure. I don't know if it's my housemate or not. And so then I get another knock on my window. I'm like, fuck that, that's not my housemate. Like, why is this happening? And I thought there was 2 people trying to steal our shit and wanted to open the door for the other one. And then they were just messing with me because there was 2 of them. So I'm like, Toby, man, I think I should call the police. And I dial 000 straight away, which is the emergency number here in Australia. For those that aren't Australian, I dial 000. They're like, police, fire, ambulance. I'm like, police. They're like, which state and town? I'm like, Canberra, ACT. Bingo, straight through. Someone's like, what's your emergency? I'm like, listen, there's someone in my house. My housemates definitely aren't home, but I've got 2 dogs. They're not barking. I think they're dead. There's people at my house. I was freaking out, so nervous. And Toby was like on the phone, like listening through my headset. And he was like, what the fuck is going on, dude? And I'm like, geez, dude, I gotta... And I just took my headphones off. Anyway, I like stick my head out my door, like my bedroom door right here, because I was nervous as fuck. I was nervous as hell, dude. I stick my head out and I'm like, oh shit, they've knocked chairs over. And I'm like, holy shit. And they're like, can you stick something up on the door? And I have like a hydraulic seat that's right here that I'm sitting on right now. I have a hydraulic seat to like, it lifts and drops. So I just hydraulicked it all the way up and it was like up in the door, jammed that shit shut. And I had like a music stand like ready to hit. I'm like, I've called the fucking police. And he's like, bro, it's me. And like, this was over like a period of 12 or 10 minutes. 12? That's a weird number to just throw out there. He was out there for like 10 minutes or so and this was just happening. And I was like, oh, man, I'm so fucking, like, I was so nervous. Because it's like been a nightmare of mine, or like a fear that someone would knock on my window in the middle of the night when I'm not expecting it. And it happened. But it was just my housemate, which is good. But I was nervous, I was shaking, my voice was trembling. I was ready for fucking war with that music stand, ready to fucking snap him. One of those ones that folds out, it's a big old square and you put like a... I've got to turn the volume down on this. This is the second time that it smashed my ears mid-podcast. Anyway, so I was like, it's one of those ones that you can put sheets of paper on for sheet music, just to clarify for anyone that doesn't know what I'm saying when I say music stand. So I have that music fucking stand and I'm ready to just bash in. And then I'm like to the guy on the guy on the phone, I'm like, listen, I'm sorry, it was my housemate, he's just pranked me. I was like, he's like, put him on the phone. So I did. I was like, mate, he wants to talk to you. And he gave my housemate a fucking mouthful, but the police still came to our house because the guy on the phone said that I had prank called them and not that I was being pranked. So they came to my house in the assumption that I had wasted like funding or like police resources because I was just calling to fucking fake the police out for no reason, like at all. And it was weird because so they got there and thought that we had pranked them, and like as soon as we explained, because there was 3 of them, 2 squad cars, 3 people, 2 cars. So the lady was like, you know, that's okay. It sounded serious, but you know, it's an honest mistake. Like, we understand. No harm done. But one of the guys was really standoffish, and it was kind of strange. And we just explained, and as soon as we did, it was just a lot more relaxed, although still somewhat henchy. And I was just like, holy fuck. Like, I'm sorry. I should have just, like, known. But I was just, like, not in the headspace to deal with something like that. I was just playing Xbox, so I don't know. Am I a pussy? Don't know. But I was scared out of my fucking head because the dogs weren't barking. So to be honest, I thought that they were dead. I was like, usually I notice them barking. For example, when I just heard them barking then. But yeah, that's what fucking, man, they got there kind of quick. It only took like 5 minutes to get to me. On to other scary shit. I'll tell you what's crazy. This Madeleine McCann thing that came out, the thing on Netflix, but apparently it's shit. So here's a thread from Twitter that I found. The Madeleine McCann thing on Netflix is shit, so I'm gonna go do my own thread. Meet Clement Freud, who is a creepy looking old man. Grandson of Sigmund Freud. Wow. Former British MP. In 2016, it was revealed in a documentary called Exposure, Abused and Betrayed, that he was a pedophile child abuser. From the 1940s to the 1970s, he died in 2009 but was never prosecuted for his crimes. Clement Freud was friends with Kate and Jerry McCann and regularly spoke via phone and email. Clement invited K&G over for dinner at his holiday home in Praia da Luz. I think that's what I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Less than 10 minutes away, which is where the McCanns were staying at the time that she was abducted. So there's also these other two guys, Podestas and... Oh, no, they're John and Tony Podestas. They're both chief of staff and chair of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. On March 2016, John Podesta's personal Gmail account was comprised in a data breach. Some of the emails were obtained, which published over 20k pages of emails. In said emails, John was communicating using FBI-certified pedophile code. He said in the fucking email, it says, great show, great speech, raised over 40 grand. My only regret is that I did not make pizza. When can I? Pizza in pedophile code is girl. Hot dog is boy, cheese is little girl, pasta is little boy, ice cream is male prostitute, walnut is person of colour, there's other ones. If he's not talking in code, according to this, if he's not talking in code, he's talking in complete gibberish. I mean, maybe he's just got a passion for pizza. But I'd say more likely he's a creeper. So how does this tie into the disappearance of Madeleine McCann? Remember Clement Freud's holiday home? The one right next to K&G's apartment? It's reported that Clement Freud let the Podestas stay there on May 3rd and 4th, 2007, when Maddie was abducted. Oh man. They were also identified in Portugal by eyewitnesses to something. There's like I don't know if you can see, there's like a witness account there that you might be able to see. Anyway. Alright, so a confirmed pedophile and two of his possible pedophile friends stayed at his holiday home in Praia de Luz. At the same time, Madeleine McCann went missing. Could be a coincidence. Detective Kevin Halligan, now dead from suspected foul play, and his partner Henri Elton were responsible for two EFIT witness account sketches of Maddie's abductors, and they bear a striking resemblance to the Podestas. You can see the EFIT in the Crime Watch special in the bottom left. Ugh. Meet Eddie and Keela, both dogs. They're cadaver dogs. They're supposed to detect the smell of death and blood, and they were sent to Kate and Jerry's Praia de Luz apartment. They detected the scent of death and blood in the apartment and the hire car. Now on to Kate and Jerry. Apparently it only takes a little bit of digging to find bad things on them. But what I think has happened is that the body, she's not dead, in my opinion, although that doesn't make sense with the dogs. What I think has happened is Kate and Jerry have... This is kind of like fictional, like speculation. What I think has happened is they've killed someone, and as payment, they've given their child to pedophiles. They're clearly powerful people. Clearly powerful people. Or maybe they didn't kill someone. They just had some sort of debt. And paid with Madeleine McCann. Because obviously they haven't... It's easy to track money trails. And easy to see if they got paid off. So they haven't been paid in any sort of cash for what they've done. So I'd say they're in a kind of debt not recognizable by the government or, society as a general credit record kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's my theory. She could be alive and well. My theory is that she's alive and a sex slave tied up in a basement. And her parents probably still visit the person that owns her now. Gross. Anyway, I just wanted to address that because the world's fucked up, mate. And, we've got Catholics being defended for molesting children. Being given 6 years? 6 years! 6 years for what that man did. Anyway. How cute are those fish? I want to talk about... It's been a while, fellas and ladies, since we've had a podcast based around humour and fun. Because there's been so much shit going on that it's really stuck in my fucking head. So I'm going to start talking about dating horror stories where they've met online. Because let's face it, most people are going to meet online. I've just read the first sentence at a glance, and it's already great. I literally had a guy lean in to kiss me and shit his pants. He was like, "Feels really warm in my underwear for some reason." Then I could smell what seemed to be a baby diaper. He ran into the bathroom and said he'd be freeballing for the rest of the night. I just farted. It's really warm in my underwear for some reason. Oh man, that is sad times. Alright, I met up with a guy at a bar. It was like pulling teeth to talk to him. I tried to talk about travel. I don't see why anyone would ever want to leave the US, he says. I tried to talk about running. I don't know why people run for fun, he says. Finally, he contributes something and says he likes cars. So I tell him about how my brother just purchased an Aston Martin. Aston Martins are shit. Well, that's how you know this guy's fucking trash. Aston Martins are shit, man? Not true. Not fucking true. They're one of the top fucking luxury sports cars in the world, you know? He says I only really like Camaros. I tell him I drove an old Camaro for 9 years. He said, "You don't know shit about cars." What the fuck? I don't, she says. I'm not going to deny that, but really all I said was that I drove a Camaro from age 60 to 25. What a shithead. Then to top it off, he starts talking about no fap and how he tried to do that, but it just made him angry, so he followed strict masturbate once every 3 day policy. He said it gave him sizable loads without affecting his mood. Check please, I'm leaving, duh. As we part ways, he tries to go in for a handshake, and I jokingly ask if he masturbated that day. He said yes. He asked if he washed his hands. He hesitates, I smile and said, "Bye," and left him hanging. By the time she got home, he had deleted her from Tinder, apparently. What a creeper. That reminds me, I've shaken someone's hand right after masturbating. Not my finest moment. However, I'm not going to say who it was, and I'll just say this. They were at my house. I had just come out of my room, not realizing that there was someone at my house. Listen, I'll tell you this. It's not my housemate's family members. There you go. It's someone that visited. Someone that visited our house. Just to clarify, though, it wasn't someone related to my housemates. I was actually leaving the room to go to the toilet and wash my hands, and I was being efficient, so I didn't wash my hands first. I just went to the toilet first. And they're like, "Hello, I'm this," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm Caleb." Put my hand right in there. Act confident, you know, because you can't, it's not like I caught it in my hands. It's not moist there anymore. My hands are dry. You know, I wipe that shit off. Gotta do it. So, that's that. I'm definitely not gonna say who it was, though. I had a guy come over and he was attractive, so we had sex and then went to sleep. I had to wake this kid up at noon and be like, okay, I have to get ready for work, you need to leave. So he started to get dressed and couldn't find one sock. Actually, that happened the other day. When I had a girl over, she couldn't find her socks, and I still haven't found them, so I'm confused. He accused her of stealing it. He searched through all of her drawers and dumped out her dirty laundry looking for it. I ended up finding it weeks later in my drawer, my sock drawer. Kind of think he planted it there, but I'm not sure why. So he finally starts to leave and his car got towed because he parked exactly where I told him not to. Looking back now, I would have told him tough shit, got him an Uber and went to work. But I took him to the car tow place so he could get it back. And of course he doesn't have his wallet, so I had to pay for it and sign for it because he doesn't have an ID on him. But the car tow place doesn't take cards, so I had to go and find an ATM to get cash. So he finally gets his car. I'm already like 30 minutes late to work, and he goes, okay, I'll call you later. And I just said, don't talk to me again. He texted me a few hours later and said, he lost his stylus for his phone. Dude, only a nerd asks someone for their stylus back. I have a stylus for my phone and I am not asking anyone for that if I lose that shit. That's just so fucking lame. Oh, what a fucking loser, dude. Oh, that's sad. I went on 2 dates with a guy where the conversation was like getting blood from a stone. But I was lonely and lived in a small town. It was the second date. He drove and then drank a lot, seemingly on purpose so he wouldn't be able to drive home. This was before Uber and Lyft, and he begged to share a cab back to mine. I agreed, and we spent the whole night crying in my bed about how I was going to leave him. I broke it off. He then looked up a performance I was later in that year in college, and he showed up. When the show ended, he waited around to say hi, like friends and family do. Then interrupted me while I greeted people to say, so that's why you've been so busy. And then stormed out. He drove 35 minutes, sat through a 90-minute play for that. Man, some of these guys be clingy as fuck. I'll tell you what's crazy. I ain't never spending no time to fucking go back and just be like, that's why you've been so busy. Just leave the awkwardness behind you, bro. Move on. We went back to his place, presumably for sex, and the pillowcases were stained with blood. The place was filled with empty beer cans. 4, I kid you not, 4 rusty hair-filled razors in the shower. All were his because he lived alone. The sink was coated in hair and toothpaste. I was so disturbed. Then he told me he had a suspended license and a kid he never met. And I hightailed it home. Yeah, I would too, if I was you, because his life is clearly not together. Man, that dude just be masturbating and getting nosebleeds afterwards. Yeah, wow. Fuck that shit. I'm not down for that. Excuse me. After I ordered my coffee, presumably they met up after being online together. After I ordered my coffee, he immediately asked if I'd watch a quick video on his laptop while I waited. It was a 12-minute long video about his MLM, multi-level marketing, vacation club that was totally not a pyramid scheme. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Honestly, if you're just like, people in multi-level marketing schemes, just fuck off. I've deleted so many people because of that shit. Man, like so many people involved in it. One guy told me that women need to be escorted to the grocery store so that they keep their eye on the prize and don't spend $200 on random things, his actual words. Then he proceeded to explain why he was right about this and why it's not offensive. When I told him I didn't appreciate his statement, he then told me about his years of psychological and physical abuse by his father. Oh. Eventually, culminating in him being stabbed by his father. He also suggested I listen to a couple of his favorite podcasts by a Trump-supporting, feminist-hating misogynist. On the way home, I gave him a ride because it was cold out and I'm apparently a bleeding heart. He asked me if I would go on a 14-hour road trip that weekend with him. which would have been our second date. Hard no. Oh, dude. You have to understand, if you got radical mindsets and opinions, you have to be careful and wait for someone who's like-minded to come along and say the same shit. And don't be the first one, because you're crazy. Man. I met up with this girl and went to a bar for some drinks. We seemed to be really hitting it off. Then her boyfriend turns up. It turns out he wants to have a fucking threesome, and they had a Tinder account for her in order to find someone. When I got annoyed by this, they both suddenly got really aggressive and pissy. They followed me out of the bar and tried to get into the taxi with me. That's shit. Just be up front. People don't know how to be up front anymore. I tell you, fucking goddamn. That's just fucking shit. Don't. What? It's just the dumbest shit. It's just dumb. Why can't people just like. That's my favorite move. Being up front is my favorite move. Because I don't fuck around and go. Mind if I just like. Put my dick here and then you can meet my dick there with your vagina and shit. We can. Fuck. I've done the direct route and gone, hey. DMs. In the DMs, obviously. I've been like, hey. Want to have sex tonight? And it's worked. So many. It's like my most successful pickup line. It's just asking if they want to have sex. Because people be fucking horny. And they be fucking. They be horny. It's just dumb. This guy just seemed not all there. While we were at the bar, he kept asking me to explain some of the words I was using meant. He refused to take off his coat and awkwardly started sweating. He would ask me to come back to his place each time I finished a sip of my drink. The next day I told him I wasn't interested in seeing him anymore. He then asked me for a refund for the drink I offered to pay for, but he insisted on buying. Huh? Dudes be weird. Have some confidence. Once upon a time I went out with a guy who got wine drunk at Olive Garden and then drunk rage punched the windshield out of my car when I offered to drive him home because he was belligerent. What the fuck? What the fuck? Back to our roots, folks. Because I'm done with that. Because that's just... I have no real response to that, by the way. I'm going to talk about some awkward sex shit. Because it's fun. So this person is talking about the time my load cost my ex-girlfriend's parents hundreds of dollars. This happened many years ago, but it is fucking gold. My girlfriend and I at the time were around 18. She would never swallow. Bad bitch. But instead would spit out into something. This particular time there happened to be several partial water bottles left on the nightstand. So my load ended up swirling around in a half-empty water bottle, which we forgot about. A day or two go by and my girlfriend's mum tells us there's something wrong with her cats. I hadn't drank any water from their bowl in a few days. She's getting concerned and going to take them to the vet to get checked out. Girlfriend and I figured out what had happened. Her mum had a habit of using half bottles of water to fill the cat's water bowl. The cats wouldn't touch their water because it was contaminated with jizz. Needless to say, we couldn't tell her mum, so it ended up costing her mum a few $100s, and at the vet, we secretly cleaned out the cat bowl and problem was solved. Fuck cats anyway, bro. Nah, I like cats, actually. I do like cats. I do prefer dogs. But, I mean, cats are so cute. You know what? If you hate cats, you're a bad person. Like, I'm not saying like them better than dogs, because in my opinion, dogs are just the far superior species of pet. But I like cats a lot. I think they're adorable, and I like to pet them, especially when they purr. Purring is one of the most satisfying things you can get from an animal. So I'm just saying. You know, pet cats. Cats are cool. Me and my girlfriend back in high school are in a... They've been dating for a couple months. Oh. He says, now I'm a good guy, complete virgin as well as she was. I'm not sure why that makes him a good guy. We had fooled around before, but never like this. It is raining and I'm driving her back to her grandma's house. About 10 p.m. I have an old school truck, but decided to take my mum's Suburban instead because of the rain. And because your old school truck sucks dick, bro. Now we get to the front of the grandma's house and boom, we're in the back seat. That's quick. Now we weren't going to be having too much fun as we didn't want anything to happen. Are these guys Christians or something? Specify that shit. He probably is ashamed. So I'm taking off her pants as she's lying back and I start fingering her. She's enjoying it as she also takes her shirt off. Now I'm pretty deep inside and going hard. He's just really fucking yapping her up in the fucking shit. He's just 4 fingers, right, 5 fingers, right, I'm fisting you now, babe. You know? Anyway, they're Christians, so that didn't happen. She's trying to keep quiet but can't contain herself. But this weird smell is throwing me off. Now, at first I was like, okay, that's just pussy. Pussies don't smell weird unless they're dirty. And I know that because I've smelt a dirty pussy. He said it wasn't a fart or anything, just an off smell. So mid-thunderstorm, pouring hard for about 10 minutes, a truck pulls into the street, really bright lights. My first thought is, shit, her dad's here, because he's got an F-150 truck, and looks similar. And I immediately freak. Quick, get up, is that your dad? She gets up fast and says, what the fuck? The truck is just chilling by the neighbour's house, looking like it was trying to park as I am in the spot he would be. Shit, hurry up, put your shirt on, I say. Well, that's delightful. Very delicate, and you taking care of her. She then says, okay, let's go, and we figure out it wasn't her dad, just a neighbour. As I am getting out of the car, the lights come on. My right hand is covered in blood. Yeah. Not just a little bit, but a whole drip down of blood. I can't go inside and say, let me wash your granddaughter's blood off my hand. So I rinse my hand in the street as it was flooding, getting drenched, walk her to the door, say bye, and that's how I put my girlfriend's cherry. You know, it's impressive. It's impressive shit. I've popped cherries before. Ooh. Ooh. My experience wasn't that it smelled that bad. Did I pop anyone's cherry? Was I lied to? A couple of years ago, when I first learned about masturbating, I would go into my room, watch porn, and jack off right into my closet carpet. What? Looking back, I have no idea what was going through my head. Then I later learned people use socks, and that makes more sense. Fuck yeah, it does. Okay. I'm going to talk about virginity loss now, because that's always a fun subject to go from popping someone's cherry. I snuck the guy I've been seeing into my bedroom window to have sex with him. We planned it out, but in the middle of it, my brother woke up and tried to come in my room. Why? The guy I was with ran into the closet and hid half naked before jumping out the window. What the fuck? Why is your brother coming in your fucking room? Huh? Why? You tell me why. That's weird. I tried to be romantic for my girlfriend at the time, but I ended up starting a mini fire in my room because I lit too many candles and knocked one over. Not good. Boring stories. I tried to be romantic for my girlfriend. Oh, that's the same one. My first time was horrible. My parents were supposed to be out for dinner, so I called my boyfriend to come over and have sex. Turns out the restaurant was a lot faster than usual. My mum walked in my room to see my boyfriend on top of me. She wasn't happy. We broke up after that. That's dumb. As a parent, I wouldn't do that. I figured it would come naturally, but as a 15-year-old boy, I literally had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know where to put my dick, so I was just poking around. And the only thing we said to each other was, is it in yet? What a fun first time. I didn't have that problem. My first time lasted 4 seconds. I think I might have got 2 thrusts in and then boom, I came. I didn't even think my girlfriend felt anything, but I was shocked and stoked at the same time. What a shit. What a sad, sad time. I lost my virginity because a girl I was friends with had a big crush on me and she had done it before I did. She told me she'd teach me what to do, and she did right on her living room. Right on her living room couch while Forrest Gump was playing. Oh shit. Weirdest text message to get. I just saw a kangaroo in rigor mortis. What a fun time. That's my brother. Shout out to you, Ethan. Oh, wow. I'm just letting him know that. I read that during podcast. I just saw a kangaroo in rigor mortis. I wonder if it's got a fucking boner. I lost my virginity because this girl... No, I lost my virginity to my teacher in high school. Our relationship was weird at first, but she paid a lot of attention to me, offering to help, and I felt like she was kind of into me. She offered to tutor me at home after school if I needed extra help, so being young and horny, I went. I lost my virginity on her living room sofa. She taught me everything I know, and she's a great teacher. That? As long as you were a senior, dude. I don't know about that otherwise. It's kind of creepy. I lost my virginity in the backseat of my friend's car. We parked in the back of an empty car lot, and we thought no one would show up. Well, it turns out the cops show up there because they caught us and made us call our parents. We weren't allowed alone together for what felt like forever after that. Thanks for your input, Sarah. That's boring. These are boring virginity loss stories. I lost mine in a threesome with my friends when we were drunk. It was a lot for not knowing what to do, but I learned pretty quickly looking back. I don't think I would have wanted to lose it any other way. Damn, I'm jealous as fuck. I wanted to wait until marriage to lose my virginity. So did I once upon a time. But I ended up losing it in college in a bathroom because I couldn't resist this guy I'd been seeing. Now I'm married. Hey, I like that story. It's a good one. I was one of those nerds who went to band camp. And let me tell you, band kids are super horny, and that isn't a lie. I lost my virginity. I lost my virginity at my co-ed overnight band camp in summer trip in 9th grade to a girl who was on her period. It was messy, but she knew what she was doing, and I wanted to have sex with her. I didn't realize how messy it could be, but I also don't care. Man, I've had sex on period. Now you know I'm transgender. I lost my virginity over a game of Truth or Dare with people I met when I was in spring break. The guy was a total asshole, though, and I constantly regret it. He knew I was a virgin, took pictures because he thought it would be funny to show his friends. Oh, it was humiliating, and I'm glad I never had to see him again. No girl should ever have to feel that way. If you're a guy and you listen to this podcast and you do something like that, if you've done it recently in terms of period, fuck off. If you did it when you were younger, I hope you've learned from that and you don't do that kind of shit. Very weird situation, but I'm really good friends with my mate and his girlfriend, and they know I'm still a virgin. One night after we'd been drinking a lot, he told me to have sex with his girlfriend and he wanted to watch. That night I lost my virginity and now have a huge crush on his girlfriend, but obviously can't do anything about it. The whole thing's just pretty fucked. Yeah, of course it's fucked. Like you got fucked. That's pretty nice of the boyfriend, your mate. Although, I think he's a cuckold. My boyfriend at the time wouldn't have sex with me because he wanted to wait, but I was really eager to lose my virginity, so I ended up having sex with his older brother. Let's just say things didn't end well, and I'm not proud of my actions. Listen, that's exactly not how to do it. And I know that for a fact because I also lost my virginity whilst I was in a relationship. Not to the person that I was in a relationship with. And I was young. It was shitty of me to do. And so what I did was I just pumped a couple times, and then I was just like, nah, I don't want to do this. But that wasn't even the thing. Because I also let her suck my dick right after that, as if that was worse. Or better than having sex with her than if I was in a relationship. So, I don't know. I was pretty disappointed in myself for a couple of years. I was angry at myself for a couple of years, and, I've come out of that. But, I was very, very, the girl I cheated on was such a beautiful person. I regret that action quite heavily. Although, I'm sure I would have fucked it up another way, sooner or later. If not by cheating on her with someone who was maybe quite a bit less attractive. Unfortunate. And that was my peak. And it's over now. Yeah, I'm out of that though. I don't feel angry at myself for doing that anymore, and I've moved on, obviously, from her. Like, it's not like I'd just be following her and shit. It's just like, you know, I was just sad because she was a nice girl. She was very hot, but not anymore. I'm pretty happy with myself now. Pretty happy with my situation. Like, I like living out of home, being single, fucking if I wanna, and if someone else wanna. You know, I like that I kind of like someone, even though it's not like a thing, and we're not like really in a relationship, but I do like someone, you know? I can admit that shit. I can definitely admit that shit. We're gonna have a lot of women listening to this podcast though, so maybe this won't help me with the women. To my G's, my boys, what's up? Thanks for supporting out here. Yeah, so thanks for listening. This is probably our longest podcast ever so far, and it feels like it's flown in terms of time. I don't know if I've been talking for 40 minutes straight. I feel like my mouth should feel drier than it is. Sorry about that ASMR. Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for listening. That's a lyric from Joe Badass. Man, I kind of don't want it to end, but all of my source material is gone. I've recorded everything. I have nothing else to talk about. Tell you what, I need more to talk about. Sharks are fucking scary, huh? I don't know. I'd like to swim with some sharks. I tell you what I wouldn't do though, is skydive. I'm scared as fuck of heights. That's something you want to learn. Let me tell you some more things about me. I'm scared of heights, for sure. Once I was scared of heights because I jumped higher than I ever had before during a basketball game, and I thought I was going to land and injure myself. That's a weird little tidbit about me. What else is weird about me? Man, I don't know what to tell y'all. I know, but I'm happy because like I can see myself. I can see the recording right here. Oh shit, man! And it's kind of got a delay, so I can see me like pointing it at the camera too, and it's kind of clear. I like this setup. I like this new setup. Yeah. Oh, I got sunburn on the weekend. Last weekend. I got roasted at work for having dry skin, and I looked like I was a wrinkled old man. Huh? Anyway, I should probably just end it. This is not good content. I got a nice little, I got fixed up at the barber the other day. That's news about me. My beard got trimmed down. You know, it's good times. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, more importantly. Like, subscribe, please. Thanks to my friend Sohan the Zohan, and his new project, Just Grow. JUSTGROW with a space between every letter and all in capitals. You can find that shit on Facebook, on SoundCloud, and Instagram and shit. My socials, if you want to find more of me. Firstly, don't know why I did that. I'm really sorry. My socials are, obviously, you can find me on SoundCloud if you want to just listen on the go and not watch shit. R18 Plus Podcast. On YouTube, if you're not watching right now, you can be. Watch R18 Pod. On Instagram, R18_podcast. If you want to email me, it's r18pod@gmail.com. And my Facebook is R18 Plus Podcast. Now, one last thing. I mean, if you want to wear condoms, do it. I don't really want to have children. So, fuck that shit. Thanks again for listening. Don't get eaten by sharks. Watch out for Catholics because they're everywhere. And they'll molest your children. Catch ya.